Oh my God, is that crazy? That is so good. Thank you. Are we ready to go? Watch your in case I nudge me if it comes.
Thanks for having me on.
We
Yeah.
love
An
you.
honor.
Hey, Jason, with this aspect ratio, it's cut off and I can't see when live pops up, so you got to stand there and wave at me.
Oh, what a great life.
Life is good.
We ready to go?
We're live?
Hello, everybody. It is Tom Chenault, and it is Adrian Chenault. Adrian is stabbing me with a fork to tell me we're on the air as I sit here checking my text messages. This is the Network Marketing Leadership Show. This is my little boy, Adrian Chenault, and we have got the one and only Ray Higdon with us, which is absolutely the best news in the world. I love this guy. I love his heart. I love his soul. He just posted that he canceled his Netflix accounts because they had that, well, we don't really do that much pedophilia post or whatever the insanity. And Higdon said, really, I'll vote this one with my billfold. And he showed the world, and I love that. And he's got a little girl and now a little boy by the name of something Thomas. I can't remember the poor kid's first name.
Graham.
I know it's Graham. I was just being facetious. But that is so exciting, and I love this guy. Don't you love him?
Love him to death.
Are you excited?
Beyond excited. Was already excited about his new book, let alone now I'm like quadruple excited.
So Ray Higdon,
Yes. I'm sorry, say that one more time.
how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for that extremely kind introduction.
I find you to be among the top 5 guys I know in the entire world training people to do the business right with no ulterior motive or no agenda and no game show, no backroom deals. I love you. And what you're doing for the little guy is something everybody should do. And I just want to applaud you right out of the gate.
Wow. Thank you very much.
RankMakers these
I think
days.
the agenda is pretty straightforward.
How many people in RankMakers these days?
We're like 14.5, I think, right around there. You know, it fluctuates. You know, some people lose a little steam, and some people hop in, and so we're right around 14.5.
One of my guys, a guy named Ken S, is in your coaching program, and he scraped all his money together. I called him. He called me on the phone, asked me my advice. I said, I know he's got a standard of excellence around his coaches and his program that is unparalleled out there. I think you should do it. He called me and told me he is overwhelmed by how great his results are. And I wanted to say that to you out of the gate because, everybody, whenever anybody goes to anybody's event, you do the math in the room. They think that the room didn't cost any money. You made $1 million on that Tuesday. And I mean, it's so sad. And people don't understand how hard your business is. And I just want to thank you for being you, Ray. I mean, I'm in awe of you. I told you I was going to do this and embarrass you a little bit, but I can't thank you enough for the heart that you got for the little guy.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate that.
So what's going on? You got an online event coming?
I do. We got, we're excited. RankMakers Live is right around the corner. We had planned on having it in person, as you know, and the Marriott COVID rules was, they wanted each chair 6 feet in diameter from every other chair. And we just didn't think that'd be a very awesome event. And so we decided to hire the best of the best, and we're putting on a virtual experience. Really excited about it.
It was about a 1 chair per zip code rule is what I was understanding. Is that right?
It's kind of silly. And one of our rank makers, I won't say any names, but said she had just attended her company convention, which adhered to those rules. And she said it was really weird, because it's just like, how do you how do you generate energy? You can't even high five anybody. You can't even reach them.
Yeah.
And so, we decided, like, let's just go all in and make it an amazing virtual experience. So we're going up to a studio. We're working with the same company and team that work with Tony Robbins, and the software is just crazy. I press one button. Check this out. We'll have over 2,000 live. I press one button. They all get busted out into mastermind groups of 5 or 6.
Wow.
And I hit them with a question. Okay, mastermind on this question. Boop, pap. They all go in different groups. They get to mastermind. They get equal mic sharing time, so no one's hogging the mic. And they'll probably, if you're an introvert, you'll probably meet way more people in this kind of format than you would at an actual event. So we're really excited about it.
Well, you look at what Tony did. You look at what Pete Vargas did. You look what Eric's doing. You guys are the standard bearers of excellence out there. And I think it's going to change the world. And, for me, I don't want to go back. I mean, the whole thing is so much better for me. I'm an introvert by nature. I can really, really target my audience. I'm in love with Zoom. I'm in love with the AA meetings on Zoom. My whole life is that way because I can be both, and it really works out for me, doesn't it?
The breakout meetings are going to be awkward for those other 5 people if you're in the bathtub, though. I got to be really honest about that.
Yeah.
When Tony did that comeback challenge, that was kind of the first. I think he was really the one that broke open what's possible. And I remember the first time I saw him standing in front of that wall of people like you're going to be doing, and just going, this is it. And it's not, it's not a magic trick. Like what you are doing. And when you told me that you were doing this for this event, it just, it was already a can't miss thing, but you got to go to be a part of this just to experience what Ray is putting together and see what's possible, because the connection that you're creating on a completely huge scale that no one can imagine is really something spectacular that has never been done before 2020, and it's beautiful to watch it happening. So
how much are the tickets?
How much are the tickets, Ray?
How much?
Right now until I believe the price goes up Friday. You can be a part of all 3 days for $97. So we try to keep it very affordable.
Can you imagine that, you guys? $97. And how many days is it?
That's for 3 days. That's for all 3 days.
$33 a day.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta, and it's all long days.
Yeah, I don't have the schedule off the top of my head, but they're I don't want to say long, but very amazing days. But full days, I should say. Full value packed days for sure.
Yeah, they're long days. They're like me. I got a whole table full of Depends and Metamucil time and watch it, and it's fantastic. But you guys, there's no better time, and you're among your people and your tribe, and it's the best. And Ray, the brand new people, I mean, they're coming in from LinkedIn in droves. They're professional people that have always looked at this thing like the ugly stepsister, and all of a sudden it's starting to make a little sense. Talk to me about what they're going to get when they come to this, or join in RankMakers, join in your tribe. People instantly belong. They can trust you. They feel safe. They know you love them. It is unbelievable. Talk about that a little bit, will you?
So what to expect from the event? Is that what you're asking?
I have no idea what I was asking. Talk about fine. From the event, what are they going to get? These people that are coming in.
Yeah, so we call this our social media super summit, and this is really the, I guess the main thing here is the time to pivot was months ago, and so how do you profit? How do you really start generating an income using social media from home right now, wherever you are in your network marketing business? And so now more than ever before, people are looking for a way to make extra money from home. 6 months ago, people that had their careers figured out don't know what the heck they're going to do now. And you have the opportunity to really represent a solution for a lot of people. And so we've gathered some amazing people. Shalene Johnson, Pete Vargas, you mentioned earlier, Tim Story, who was Oprah Winfrey's coach. And we just have an amazing lineup and just a deep dive of 3 days giving you action steps and exactly what to do on social media right now, what's working right now to help you grow your business.
And I love all those movie stars and all that garbage, but here's the deal. I like the Angel Fletchers. I came to the event, and it was, let's roll up our sleeves.
Yep.
Never forget Michelle Eldridge.
Yep.
That heartfelt speech from the bottom of her heart, owning the crowd, coming from where she came from to where she is now. Because of you, that's what I want to be when I grow up. That's cool. True story?
Unbelievable. And it's so cool, specifically speaking of Michelle Eldridge, watching her story continue and her to continue to overcome great adversity, and to specifically hear what you have done with from the background, but using your platform to help somebody that was going through a really challenging time to come out of this stronger, to get what she needed. That's an absolute huge kudos to you, but it's also what this is all about. What you're all about is that we can lift each other up, and that we can continually pay it forward, the gifts that we have all received, to help others and just create this cascading effect of people, blessing each other and rising the tide, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the main message behind our Wealth Wednesday. Do a random act of kindness for a stranger involving a financial exchange. And so whether it's paying for the person behind you in drive-through, the toll booth, or sneaking a couple bucks in the diaper box at the grocery store, it's, how do you start to realize that with a larger business, with more profits, you're able to impact more people and feel better about your journey and about yourself. Like, that's, kind of the deal. And I do all of these things, not because I'm some selfless martyr that is I'm just here for everyone else. I do it because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel significant. Amen. It makes me feel like what I'm doing is worthy of continuing. So I do it, not just for everybody else. I do it for me, man. So I keep my sanity.
Go back to what I was talking about. The everyday Joe people, like Angel Fletcher, like Lisa Grossman, the stories of people from that stage that were down there where everybody is and decided to reach inside. They learn the skills from you, and these people have taken the mountain. Lisa Grossman, she could be your mother, but I mean,
I don't know how much Lisa or Angel have learned from me. Maybe Angel a little bit. I don't know that Lisa's learned much from me. She was already a very amazing leader.
Look at this humble man. But it's just, I love the environment. I love the people from the stage. And I want everybody to and I want you to register for this thing during the commercial, especially if you're listening on the radio, on GCN, because you don't want to listen to that stuff anyway. You want to go to the website. Where do they go to figure out how to register for your event? Where's the site?
Real simple. It's RankMakersLive.com. RankMakersLive.com.
Okay, one more time. RankMakersLive.com.
Perfect.
Okay, good. Did you say it?
RankMakersLive.com. I think I got it.
Okay, so I'm killing a couple seconds here because we're going to a break, and I don't want to ask Ray another question. So we're going to take a break, and don't leave, because when we take breaks here, they last like 1 second, and then Adrian does a little pitch on contact mapping.
Good.
So we're coming back right after this. Thank you very much, Genesis Communication Network. You put us on the radio for 12 years straight for absolutely no reason. We love you, Ted Anderson. Hope everybody's having a great day. We'll be right back.
You nailed the break.
We did.
You are a professional radio host,
I'm like
my
a
man.
radio host.
That's so cool.
So, what's up, buddy?
This is so fun. I'm so excited.
Oh, you love Higdon.
I love him to death. And, Ray, you have been a huge supporter of contact mapping from the very beginning, and we're just extremely grateful for all your support over the years. And one of the things that's been fun is that we've gotten through being a part of your events. We were part of Top Earners Academy Live. We've been part of RankMakers Live a couple of times now, and I love connecting with your tribe because they're so passionate. They're so on fire. They're in a huge level of activity. And one of the things that was always kind of a problem for us as we were trying to bring your tribe onto contact mapping is that so much of what you teach and train on is about how to prospect on Facebook and how to build relationships on Facebook. And we just didn't have a perfect story there for a long time. And so one of the things I'm really excited about is that has very recently changed. We've just launched this Facebook Messenger integration, and so now I can have a single tap where I can go straight to message somebody on Facebook. I can go straight to their Facebook profile and check out what they're up to before I send them a message, and I can actually use a browser extension on Chrome, and I can have one click where I can, we've been talking and I've learned about their dog's name, their kid's name, their whole life story, and I can grab that whole thing. I can in one click put that into my notes in contact mapping, and now whenever I'm going, who was that person who was telling me about this or whatever it was, instantaneously that's all searchable, which you try to go and search anything on Facebook other than just scrolling through somebody's feed, you're never going to find it. So being able to save that stuff into a place where it's searchable and it's right at your fingertips is really exciting. And so that's part of the premium version that we have just launched with contact mapping. But man, thank you for helping to inspire that and for sharing your community with us over these last few years. It's been a really cool partnership, Ray.
Yeah, for sure. And remember, I'm still waiting for you to tell me when you'll go live in the group. And so, you're robbing these people of value. They're ready to get your training, man.
Yeah.
Well, you're a deep student of prospecting, of documenting, of follow-up. That's what you do. I mean, you are the master of it. I mean, you hammer it every day. And it is such a refreshing thing to see somebody validating what he digitized. You've got far better skills than me. In fact, the other day you had a call with Adrian. I swear, you called because you busted me one time when I was 1 minute late on a call. He goes, 1 minute. He goes, do we need to do this another day? And I was so pissed.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah, I'm talking about you, pal. I have the text. You want to do this another day? I was 1 minute off. And I thought, that mother. It was unbelievable. Yeah, so back to you, buddy. Are we almost out of this break?
We got a minute left.
Okay, good. That is so cute. What's the website?
So go to contactmapping.com/free. You can see what we're up to. There's a free version, hence the URL. So you can go and check this out completely for free, no credit card required whatsoever, and go and take this thing for a test drive. And then when you go, you know what, this is awesome. I want to turn this thing into overdrive and start using it with Facebook. We're launching LinkedIn and Twitter in the month or so to come as well. So lots of cool stuff coming down the pipe in that capacity. And we want you to check it out. We want you to see what this thing is all about because we're really up to some exciting stuff. And so go and download it for free, go start playing with it, and let us know what you think.
And you know what? Here's the deal. Network marketing, not network marketing. Real estate agent, not real estate agent. I don't care. You want to be a better human being. You want to follow up on your family, your friends, your relatives, people in your life. Stop screwing around with it. These people, COVID proved it. This is temporary, people. All right, let's go back. And we're back. It's the Network Marketing Leadership Show with Adrian Chenault and Tom Chenault. And we've got the one and only Ray Higdon, who we love with all of our heart. And he is the skills king. And every day, a Facebook Live, every day out there with his tribe, trying to make people better, teaching them how to give money to charity, feedback. I mean, the whole shot. What he does is what I want to be when I grow up.
Absolutely. And I love consistency. I think you represent so many things to this community, but I think consistency is one of the huge things that is so incredibly important, so incredibly powerful, and the missing link for so many of us. So how long has it been now without missing a single day of doing a video, Ray?
I started July 15th, 2009, and have never missed a day. And today, I will have done 8. So this is number 6. I have 2 more.
He's a beast, man. It is. I will watch you because I'm in enough groups that you run that, it's like, okay, I don't know how your energy level is just unparalleled.
But this business is consistency. Is much, that I harp 2 interviews a day, 1 3-way call with a tool, document, follow up. Nobody does it. And when you start doing what he's done since 2009, literally every day, you get what he's got. That's what's so amazing. And the same thing with me. You want what I have, do what I do. And I'm on this new walking kick. I don't know if you know this, but I started walking 10,000 steps a day because of Richard Brooke. Have you seen him? He looks like a hockey stick with hair. I mean, he's gone. His face is gone. He looks so great. He's down like 100 pounds. He just looks great, and he's doing like 500 push-ups a day. He is just out of his mind. And so I'm trying to emulate that because I'm kind of jealous of him. Because I used to look like him when I was real puffy, and now he doesn't look like me anymore because he's not. But I look like the old Richard Brooke, so I got people calling me Richard Brooke from the old days, and it's still making me nuts. So now I got to get this little skinny face like him, so I'm working on it, man.
Working hard.
And we were talking about consistency in his show, and we made it all about me as usual. So, Ray, fact, isn't consistency like the most important thing in the world?
Yeah, I mean, I think what people need to understand is with consistency and self-development, you just constantly get better. And my first videos were terrible. I mean, I remember the first person that taught me internet marketing, I sent him my first video, and his response was, LOL, you should totally post that. And he literally thought I had made a spoof video. That's how bad it was. I wasn't a spoof video. I was in a suit and red tie and so my camera's right here and I'm looking up here at my script. So I'm like, hi, do you struggle with leads online? Hi, I'm Ray Higdon. And he's like, dude, that's hilarious. You should totally post it. And so like, you got to realize that with consistency, you get better.
That's the name of the game. And so talk about inside of RankMakers, what is the rhythm of the week and how are you helping that community, that tribe of people to get in action and stay in action?
Yeah, so we launched RankMakers in July of 2017, and honestly, I think the biggest part, it was a test, and the biggest thing is I missed having a team. I missed having my tribe, and I had retired from actively building a team, so I kind of missed that. And so we launched RankMakers, a little private group where I go live every single day, and I give an action step and a training every day, and once a week you update the tracker. So the very simpleness is do the action step daily, update the tracker weekly, 2 things, that's it. And we started, I wish we would have started from the beginning, but we started tracking our stats in early 2018. And so as of maybe 2 months ago, our RankMakers have brought in over 208,000 new customers, 49,000 new reps, and achieved 9,175 rank advances. And so we're very much about production. And if you're wanting to produce, that's the name of the game. We want you to produce because we know with production comes results, comes income, comes changing of lives, comes giving to more charities and making a difference and changing your family. And so that's what we're really after. I'm not after just, hey, great training, Ray. I mean, I appreciate that. That's nice. But I'm really after getting people into action. So that's really become our specialty.
Silly stuff that isn't income producing, that looks like work but really produces nothing, is what a lot of people are talking about, especially the companies. And it's just, if you just plug into RankMakers, and I'm looking at all the comments from icons like Angel and like Lisa Grossman and Richard Brooks commenting, all these people are saying the same thing: do what Ray does. Basically, they're saying do what I do, but it boils down to the same thing, everybody. But you need to learn those fundamentals, and I don't think there's a better place than going in and emulating what you're doing every morning on RankMakers. So this is so fun because we get to take another break for Genesis Communication Network. I know the time flew by, so we'll be back right after this break. Stick around. Okay, and we're back, Adrian.
2 for 2, man.
I know, man. I'm like a talk show host.
Let us keep our
jobs.
jobs.
Richard Brooke loves the commercials on the radio.
He does.
Oh, he just thinks those things about all that survivalist and all that conspiracy. In fact, I watched his Zoom this morning. It was pretty good because he was talking about politics and how there's nothing's true. It's just everything's an infomercial, including this particular spot. Take it away.
Wow, what a nice subtext. Everything is propaganda. Nope. Speaking of propaganda, let's talk about contact mapping.
There you go.
So, fundamentally, the thing that I think we are really about helping people to do is something that I think you and I agree on fully, Ray, and I'd love you to talk about it. Is just that follow-up is something that so few people have a real practice around, that have a real rhythm around, and it is so much easier than you think it is, and yet people avoid it like the plague. And if they would just embrace it, they would create results. What do you think about that, Ray?
I mean, I agree 100%. I mean, I've spent a lot of time with different sales organizations. One of them being Grant Cardone's, sales office, which is, it's a cage with a bunch of pit bulls on it, right? And love them, right? But I asked the sales manager, I said, how much of your sales is made on the initial contact? 2%. So these highly trained sales professionals, multiple 10-figure income revenue, right? Multiple 10-figure income, 98% is made from follow-up. So why would a network marketer think that without follow-up, they should get results? They're not highly trained usually, right? So why they're literally not making 98% minimum of what they should be making if they're not doing follow-up.
If that isn't just a punch in the gut to get you into action with following up with people, that I don't know what is. And you're 100% right. I've heard a similar statistic and story about Tony Robbins. This was from somebody who was working with him about 10 years ago. But the magic that shifted for them was they would have the same sort of thing, big calling group, big group of salespeople, but they would assign the same person to build a relationship with this random person who called the 1-800 number or whatever off of an infomercial, and they would learn their story. That same person would keep calling that person, and they would level them up at each stage of that process and move them through it. And they would go from balking at spending $99 for a 5-disc cassette, whatever, to spending, $10,000 on going to some, fully immersive training. And that's what's possible when you learn how to do this. And I'd love you to talk about this too, because I think what it really takes is pretty much just showing up and actually just following, picking up the phone again, sending the message again, and not getting in your head and talking yourself out of them buying something or enrolling before you ever even ask the question, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, bad follow-up is better than no follow-up. And you can suck at sales, but be consistent at follow-up and do just fine. And that's what's great about contact mapping is you guys have such an amazing, simple system that anybody can follow that will alert them, will notify them, will ding them when they need to follow up with somebody. And it's just incredible. It's just incredible. And so it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be difficult. And I guess one word of advice would be, be more addicted to your activity than their response. I survived tens of thousands of people not responding to me. I'm a survivor. I should make a shirt about it. But, hey, I'm addicted to my activity. I'm addicted to me reaching out and creating the possibility of you changing your life, but I'm not addicted to you responding to me.
That is so awesome. I have to tell you another time I hated you. So
another time. How many times are there?
Pictures with Grant Cardone, like 20 of them, and he just wanted to take pictures of me like I was going out of style when I met him in Vegas. We spent some time, and he had some things in common, and I didn't have the guts to ask him for his phone number. I still don't understand why. So I call Higdon because I know they're friends, and Higdon said, call him on Instagram. And I didn't know you could even talk to people on Instagram, with messages. And I thought that was like the Higdon brush off, and I didn't realize. So then I'm officially apologizing to you right now because I'm so cruddy at all that stuff because I'm 100 and I didn't even know they had messaging. So I wanted to officially apologize for hating you for like a week, like I got the dust off again because I'm sensitive. But yeah, I followed up. I got him.
That's the only way I've gotten him to respond other than doing a whole office contact thing.
Very cute. All right, we're coming back right now. And we're back. It is the Network Marketing Leadership Show. We got Adrian Chenault here. We've got the great and cute. Do you love his smile enough?
Cute is just what you're going for.
He's an adorable man. That's a fact, Ray. And I'll tell you, as we have been doing this show and watching the comments from people out there live, you are absolutely loved by the people in the penthouse and the people just coming in the game. And what I love about that is all the quotes that are coming in. People remember what you say. They live their life by it. You're making an impact with all that stuff you're doing. How does that feel? I mean, do you just love the fact that you're making this contribution? You're obviously driving people to the Underground Railroad or the various, is that one of your charities that you're in big with? Yeah.
For sure. Operation Underground Railroad.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And the end result, I mean, I bought a pair of your socks for $1 zillion one time, and you know, everything you do is over the top for mankind. And the people that are fans of yours, I don't blame them in the slightest. Would you agree?
No, I don't blame them either. Okay. So Ray, talk about Wealth Wednesday, and talk about where your commitment to helping other people, your commitment to really playing it big and giving to charity comes from for you. How did that come about for you?
You know, a couple things. One part of it is it's actually a mindset hack, in that I realize how many people have money mindset issues, and how many people saw their mom or dad or aunt or uncle make some money, lose it, and end up worse than they were before. So they have this money mindset entanglement that more money is actually bad. And so what something like Wealth Wednesday does is it kind of hacks the brain, because as you tip someone heavier, or you pay for the person's drive-through, or pay for the person's toll booth, or put $5 in a diaper box at the grocery store, you start to connect different wires that say, wait a minute, man, if I had more money, I could do more of this cool stuff. Like, this would be really cool. And so we get anywhere from 600 to 1,200 people a week that do a Wealth Wednesday act all around the world. And we've been featured in, or the acts, I should say, not we, but the acts have been featured in international news and on radio shows. There was a paper in Australia that wrote up a Wealth Wednesday, and it said Happy Wealth Wednesday, and it was a $5 thing in a diaper box. So part of it is a mindset hack, because I've just realized from coaching so many people that a lot of people have a money mindset issue, and they're doing the work, but as soon as they start to make money, they're like, oh, I'm bad now. And so you'll never become that which you despise, which politicians and the media do a really good job of making you think that, rich people are evil and greedy and terrible. And so part of it's a mindset hack. The other part is just addressing some of the trauma that I had as a kid. I wasn't allowed to have a voice. I think one of the reasons that I became a speaker is because I wasn't allowed to have a voice. That's kind of ominous, so I'll give an example. I remember, being in the car with my dad, stepmom, and stepsister, and my dad says, we're outside of a restaurant, and he says, hey, I'm hungry. You guys hungry? And, my stepmom says, I'm hungry. I could eat. My stepsister says, I could eat. And I said, I could eat. And then, my stepmom says, well, let's just go home. And I smelled something funny at that point. I'm like, uh-oh. And so when we got home, I got the hell beat out of me, because I wasn't supposed to answer that way. I was supposed to answer that I was not hungry, regardless of how I actually felt. And so for the first 12 years of my life, I went through that type of abuse. I went through, getting, beaten pretty much every day, being woken up by being thrown against a closet and stomped, being told that I'm worthless every single day. But it was more the physical, abuse that was kind of tough. And so all of those things happened to create this drive within me to have a voice, and have a voice for, like Tom says, for the little guy, for the person that's been through some stuff. And so that's why I'm so passionate about helping those that don't think they have help, helping those that, maybe have felt in their life that they haven't had a voice, because I certainly did for a long time in my life.
We had a homeless guy live in our basement for 7 years. Wow. 7 years. And his little sister and his brother, and I mean, it changed their lives, seeing that person living in the basement. And, he was a homeless guy we found behind a wire, had something to do with AA. But he lived there for 7 years, and he taught these kids what's important. And you start making more and more money, it's important not to forget that. And looking what has happened to so many people in COVID, where they really, really got present to how fleeting life is, and what Angel Fletcher, for instance, with her daughter, has gone through, and all of a sudden you're stuck with, you know, you got all these friends and these people idolizing you, and all that you can see is your little girl. All you can see. There's nothing else that exists in the world. And I've got a situation like that that keeps her coming around the horn in my life. And you can't see anything else yet. People can't understand it. And I'll tell you one thing right now, you guys, all of you, you never know what's going to happen. Be the kindest, best person you can. And you're going to have a lot of friends there to help you when you need help. And it's hard to ask for help when you need help, especially at the level of people like you guys. But I'll tell you, it's a skill. Don't you agree? I've leaned on you a lot more in the last 6 months than I have your whole life.
Yeah, it's amazing watching that happen, and you know, just thanks for sharing that, first of all, Ray. And I know I know you are really public about that because you know how much it helps people that have been through something similar, or at least can go, wow, well, you know, if he can overcome that, you know, whatever I've had to face or whatever, like I got to give up that story. And you know, back to some of what you said about Wealth Wednesday and some of this rewiring, you know, one of the things I want to thank you that you've really woken me up to even is just paying more attention to the messages I send my kids, but also the messages that they're receiving out there in the world from media and from movies and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, there's this movie called Zootopia, and there's some, you know, there's this villainous rich guy. And, you know, I was at the dinner table with my daughter, and she's like, yeah, he's terrible. He would buy stuff and then he would sell it for more than he bought it for. It's horrible. And I was like, whoa, like this is, you know, it's just crazy how you get these things infiltrated. And it was awesome. We ended up having this amazing conversation about that, and it ended up being this like beautiful moment. But if it, you know, I think I might have kind of let those things pass me by as not being that important, but this conversation really matters. And it's like you see on display later in life how it's stopping people from creating the life that they want, but they literally can't get there from here. You're helping people break that down all the time, aren't you?
Yeah, and it's everywhere. I mean, look at you know, It's a Wonderful Life. Who's the villain? Potter, the banker that lent them the money to buy their houses.
Yeah.
Think about that, right? Who's in Dante's Inferno? Who's in the seventh layer, right? The moneylenders, right? You look at Titanic. Will we be seated according to class? One of the biggest movies of all time. Yep. You know, all the poor people are dancing around, yay, we're so much fun, and all the rich people, miserable, right? So you have this constant conditioning. Time magazine, I don't know if you saw my Instagram. I don't know if you want to go here, but here we go.
Yeah, fire it up.
You know, Time magazine just sent out a thing that said the top 1% of Americans have taken, that's the word they use, taken 50 trillion from the bottom 90%, and that's made the U.S. less secure.
Yeah.
And so I wrote an alternative headline. Those who provide the most value to the masses get voluntarily compensated from the masses often.
It's insane.
Wow.
Right? But what is that? That is class warfare. That's what's being programmed every single day.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw, I mean, people literally put a guillotine in front of.
Yes.
I mean, like.
That they ordered from Amazon. True story. They got the parts from Amazon. They put it in front of Bezos. Like, this is how people, they don't make sense.
So should people read Atlas Shrugged?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
7 times. So if I can read it 7 times, and you guys know I don't have the brains God gave a crowbar, you can read it once. And don't go see the movie because it's not going to sink in. Everybody, oh, I saw the movie. Horse shit. Going to get in trouble.
Don't see the movie.
DC on that, but here's the deal. Go read that book. And it's from so many standpoints, right, Ray?
I highly recommend Atlas Shrugged. I now, because I actually hired the chairman of the Ayn Rand Institute to get mentoring from, and I now know why it's not more prevalent, unfortunately, but that'll be for a different show. But yeah, highly recommend Atlas Shrugged, for sure.
You hired I did not know that. When did that happen?
I just started I bought monthly coaching with him, and I did my first session last month.
How do we like the guy? Love him?
What's that?
Love him?
I like him a lot. I want to, like, a lot of it is, I mean, he's a, you know, economist, philosopher, all these different, you know, different things. And so I just want to understand things faster, and understand with the social conditioning that's happening, around the world, how can I more faster understand the logical reasoning to combat some of it?
Wow, that's so crazy.
That is
Never
wild.
knew that.
We got about 2 minutes left, so you got to give the short version of this answer. But you do 8 videos a day, and then you hire an economist and philosopher to teach. Like, how the hell do you do this? And I don't mean that in a falsely praising way. Like, how do you carve out the time to do that while being in production mode on a massive scale?
So most days are not 8 videos. I mean, this is an intense day. Most days I'm probably on, 3. It's just managing your calendar. It's just fitting it in. On the weekends, most times, unless I'm, like a speaker for an event or something, most times I'm not doing hardly any work. And I think the big thing for me is not every day is high production, but no day is no production. I don't have a day. That doesn't exist. And so, like, I may have low production, but I don't have no production ever. And so I don't work all the time. I just know, there are seasons like before our event where I got to run hard.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So here's what I want. Here's how this ties to the fact that you cannot miss RankMakers Live, is that what Ray has done is spent more than most people would dream of in a year on bettering himself so that he can take that and take all the mumbo jumbo that's out there, because there's a lot of mumbo jumbo, and turn that into something that is applicable and specific to network marketing. And I have seen him do that over and over again. Ray has recommended some of the best books that I have ever read, and they're over my head, and I go, holy crap, that idea showed up there, and I get it when he says it. I didn't get it in the book. And so go to rankmakerslive.com, go and grab your ticket for $97. You would be crazy not to do that. This event is going to be awesome, and the big thing you got to do is make sure you really carve out the time to drink from that fire hose, because that's what it's going to be. This is not a watch it on your phone while you're mowing the lawn sort of a deal. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this on the Network Marketing Leadership Show. I'm Adrian Chenault, standing in for Tom Chenault.
Good job, Paco. He was on a roll, and he was gonna. If he would have flipped it to me, we wouldn't have made the break right. Holy mackerel, you are.
Very good.
But that's true, man. I really, you have the war on art, Ogilvy on average. I mean, so many, like, you have really done the work, and I thank you for that, because you're my book curator.
He's also a Landmark Forum guy.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
That
all
is
that
cool.
in common, man. And my entire life is about being a better human being. I go to daily AA, and I watch Ray do a parallel life. I mean, we had tough times when we were young, and you got people in your family that say, the reason I'm down and out is because I had a tough childhood. Then you got Ray Higdon said, the reason I'm down and out is because the reason I'm on top is because I had a tough childhood, and I chose to not live my life, or my daughter and my new son to live that life. And I love that. And thank you so much for the
Appreciate
stand you are for humanity. I like that more. I just can't tell you how much. I'm like ready to cry. I truly believe all of us that are at the top of this business, and I've watched Angel and Ryan give so much money to NMP and places like you that you do. And it is so great to see these people on top doing all they can to give back to those people that are just coming up the pike, and that's cool. Don't you?
For sure.
You want to do a commercial? I forgot we were at the break.
That's all right. Why don't you do the commercial?
Yeah, contactmapping.com. Here's the deal. I have been unbelievably successful in my life, and I am a great place to visit, but you do not want to live here. But the problem is, I'm going to be there 5 minutes and you're going to be going, how are we going to get away from this guy? And I'm like the Kirby vacuum cleaner guy. I'm not leaving. So the problem is, I've known that all my life. And the only defense I've had against it is I remember everything people thought. But I didn't. I always have had, since I was a young man, a Dewey Decimal System where I kept notes on literally every human being I ever met. And Adrian knew it. It was awesome. And it was 3x5 cards. It was Excel spreadsheet. It was ACT. It was Goldmine. It was my company CRM. It was all those stupid acronyms. But guess what? Nothing ever worked. And my mind didn't work. And now I'm 69-year-old and I can't even remember my middle name. I couldn't remember the name Graham Thomas Higdon, and the middle name's mine. But the point I make to you is this app does all that so you look like the smartest person in the room. Then they figured out a way for you to Google your brain, and there's just nothing out of your reach, and it's kept me relevant. Now I'm 69 years old. And all my friends are in their lazy boy chairs getting ready to die on the golf course because they're not relevant anymore. I've never been more relevant because of my Rolodex. That's it. It's that simple. That could be you. Put your spikes on, go get the free app, take it for a test drive, see what the hell happens, realize it's the most important thing you've never done, and your life's going to change. How's that for an ad?
Bam!
Thanks.
It's true. And watching you do what you do, and watching people that have never done this before, that have never kept notes on people, start doing it and start seeing these breakthroughs happen almost instantaneously, because you don't realize how much is slipping through your fingers until you catch it for the first time, and you make that follow-up phone call and you ask them a more specific question than you would have been able to off the top of your head, and they react completely differently and the whole thing changes. So go to contactmapping.com/free, go grab your account, and we're coming back right now.
And we're back. It's the Tom Chenault Leadership Show, whatever the hell this name is. The Network Marketing Leadership Show. It wasn't on the screen. That's what this thing's called, not the Tom Chenault Leadership. He's no leader. Here's the deal. If you haven't figured out right now that I love Higdon and what he stands for as much as air in my lungs, you missed the whole show. I'm refunding your money. You've got to spend $97 and go to RankMakers, block it out on your schedule, and become like him. Become like him. You don't want to become like me, because there was a lot of bad road between me and doing okay. He can save you the bad road. Do what they do, and you're going to change the world. And that's my stand, and I happen to believe that wholeheartedly, Ray. About you, Jess, you're two beautiful kids.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Honored.
You got to go.
So give us one more rundown of, you kind of went through it quickly at the top of the show, but who else is gonna be there? What can people expect out of this RankMakers live event? Because I mean, the lineup that you've got there is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, we have, like you mentioned, we have Angel Fletcher, Ryan Higgins, we have Marina Simone, we have Diane Hockman, we have just the best of the best that we have vetted to help people get into activity, get into action, and start getting results with their team and on social media as quickly as possible. And so, it's tough to change someone's life in one of the short videos that we do every day, but you give us 3 days. I really believe that if you pay attention, you tune in, that we can help you transform your life.
I think that's so true. And I think the last thing you said is actually the most important, which is that you cannot be a tourist on this thing. You have to show up. You got to plant a flag. You got to have a notebook. You got to have somebody there to watch your kids, or go to a hotel, or you have to create the conditions for you to have a breakthrough, or you're not going to have it. And it'll, you're going to nod your head a bunch and go, man, that was really cool, and nothing's going to change in your life. You
can dink and dunk for 10 years. I know people that have. You can just, tune in a little bit here and there for 10 years, 20 years, however long. Or you can say, you know what, I'm going to choose commitment over convenience, and I'm going to show up. I'm going to make a plan. I'm going to be unreasonable, and I'm going to be on for 3 full days, and I'm going to change my life. That's
what I do. And in your events, in Eric's events, they have the hall rats, where those guys never walk in and they never learn anything.
Right.
They stand out in the hall and act like they learned it all and they know it all, and they talk about everybody in there. I am telling you, I was at an event this weekend, and I was watching people comment, and it felt like those people commenting were the people sitting in the front row. Be that person. I don't even know if you have comments in your deal, but that person that is so plugged in that people notice how plugged in you are. And as you're typing and commenting, just like this show right here, and Armand Payot, I don't know if you know Armand, don't you?
Of course, yeah.
Oh,
Amazing.
there's another guy. I sat in a room of
just so
1,000
awesome.
people with him, and I watched him tell me stories of literally every person walking by that waved at him, the story of their life, because his heart's like yours. So, I mean, all of us, it's just servant leaders. I think about it constantly. The name of the game is give back. Give back. And when you go to RankMakers, you're going to learn how to give back, but you got to get in the game. And getting in the game means being in there, put it on your daytime to be the whole thing. And that's what, I'll be there the whole time.
Yeah.
For sure. 3 days, I'm blocking it out.
Awesome.
If I can find $97.
But that's what it, and you have no excuses, right? You don't have to get on an airplane. You don't have to go someplace that you're scared about. However you feel one way or the other about any of this stuff, all of the things that could have blocked you from doing this are removed, right? All you've got to do is create some space for yourself, fully engage, go and drink from the fire hose, and connect, right? Just be in that chat, be there. You're going to meet people who are going to be encouragers to you. You're going to feel a part of something. You're going to be seen and heard and, on a mission together with all these other people who are working their butts off to create a better future for themselves, just like you. And that energy is where the magic happens. And that's, again, what you're doing in the way that you have set this thing up, is you're making sure that that same buzz and energy and belief that comes from being in an in-person event, that you're creating that same sort of environment online. And I think that is, again, just hugely, hugely valuable.
And Angel Fletcher and Lisa Grossman and you and Armand, thank you for your absolute dedication and contribution to the ANMP. I mean,
Absolutely.
you guys have done for that association. When I got there, it was a ragtag band of nothing. And Lisa Grossman got hold of it, and really, she was the one. Everybody gives Garrett all the credit, and he's done a tremendous amount, not minimizing it, but Lisa Grossman, Sean Murphy, Curtis Broom, they're the ones that poured the gas on, and I just want to thank all of you people, because I see it. And what Angel Fletcher said, how you show up for something is how you show up in everything. So yeah, so whatever she said, it was very profound. I read it and I got it because again, I didn't map it. So I love you, Ray, with all my heart, and I can't thank you enough.
Love Chenault.
We're not leaving yet.
No, we actually got about another minute because we're 1 minute past.
Who do we have next week? Any idea?
I have it here. I just didn't.
Forgot?
I didn't map it.
All right, good. So
Hold on, I'll tell you.
we're having a blast with this show, and if you want to come on and you're an influencer, Angel Fletcher, just let me know, and we would love to have you. Next week it's Don Fela. Have you ever heard the napkin presentation?
I have.
He is still alive and doing well. He's older than me, and he came out of the woodwork, and I said, we got to have you on the show, because that guy is like
Own Your Life, right? Isn't that him?
beautiful man. So he's coming on
That's
next week.
exciting.
So,
That's good. I don't know Don. So
yeah,
that was
he's cool.
Yeah.
cool. All right, take us out.
All right, we're leaving. I love you, Ray Higdon, with all my heart. You'll never, ever, ever understand the depth of my appreciation for that ride in the Tesla when you really let me get to know you. Because then I understood the Higman, that I was going to love you forever, and I do, and thank you.
I love you guys. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Better. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ray.
Yep.
Oh, man, we did it. That was fun.
That was awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I think that was past. I mean, I just wanted people to get your heart, because that's in the depth of your, I planned Atlas Shrugged and the forum and hijacking, because people need to know,
Yeah.
especially those people from LinkedIn that are starting to take a look at this, that it isn't a bunch of goofballs. This is
Right.